Another day live. Okay, so I'm trying to like stay right in the shade, go 1 inch each way, and I'm in the sun and I'm getting blinded. Another beautiful day. So today I'm going to talk about, go a little bit deeper on gate 48 in human design. It is coming out of the spleen. And so this is what we are looking for. I'm kind of like combining the gates from the spleen with money fears. And so the gate 48, that is the one that on its own, not self-theme, if you have it, it would be that you feel like inadequate, so you don't feel worthy in like the knowledge you are sharing, and that you may feel like you need to take like a bunch of certifications and courses because what you already have isn't enough, and that you're always like looking to fix or like have something else outside of you to solve your problems versus like you going in within yourself. And so that is like one aspect. And then the other aspect is like you may feel like you are not worthy of money. And also that also ties into the undefined and open heart. So if you don't have gate 48 and you feel not worthy of money, but you have an undefined or open heart, then that's where that can also come from. So there could be like some interconnectivity through that. Gate 48 in the highest expression, meaning that you are here to share your knowledge, and you are here to share your knowledge on how to shift the world. And so that's the highest expression. And so the fears that pop out of this gate is only when it's a gate, not when it's a channel. So if like you see gate 48 is connected, it's like a channel and connecting it to something else, then that means like you probably don't have these fears. And if these fears do pop up, then they can be like they are probably been conditioned to you by society. And so because what happens is like the way these like kind of like the not self theme of this gate only shows up because there isn't the other gate that connects to it, so that makes it a channel. And so that's what like really is interesting about human design. And yeah, so I wanted to tap into a little bit deeper about this because I know like I have gate 48 and I've done like a lot of deconditioning with it, and it's been interesting. And so I want to tap into the fact that like, because we live in a world that there's just like so much available, so many courses, so many certifications, so many things to do. And sometimes we get wrapped up into those being the things that fix all our solutions. Now, I like looking at the word fixing, and in my interpretation, so this is like my perception, is that it is like fixing to me, I see it more of a band-aid solution. I don't see it as like a long-term shift. And so healing, on the other hand, that is more like you heal, like it's a different, like just to kind of give you the different perspectives. And so we tend to like always reach out, sometimes, not always, but like reach out of ourselves to do all the things. And it comes from various areas. It can come from the fact of like being conditioned by society, of the fact like growing up, being told that you need a university degree to get a certain job, that you need this type of certification to get that job, and then you need to have like these levels of certification to get a raise or to get the a salary you desire. And so we've attached courses and programs and certifications to the value of money that we make. But that's not true. There is like, we've attached it as society, but it's actually not true. Money is not associated with worth, with value. We're the ones who put that. We're the ones who do that. And if you look at you know, like how long one person takes to take a like you know, like take education and then what they make, and then another person who doesn't take education and then what they make, like those two things are like, in my reality, they don't make sense, because money is not attached to any of those. Money, it's like on its own, okay? It's a tool. Everything you've attached money to, it is your belief. And so if you do believe that you need to have like all these certifications to make more money, then that is a reality you're creating. But if you don't desire to do that, then you can shift that reality. And so like, I know, for example, like how many years does it take for like a doctor to get, you know, their schooling and then what they make, right? And then you look at, you know, like these amazing coaches that have only been running their business for 5-6 years, and they're making quadruple what the doctors make. And so then you look at, you're like, well, wait a second, they didn't even take that education. Did they do courses? Yeah, of course they did courses, but the level is different. And so this is why you can't compare of like the number of courses that you are taking equaling a certain sum of money. And so this is just like something for you to think about, and seeing like what kind of reality would you desire to live, and how much money, you know, do you want to bring into your reality. And if there's a certain amount that makes you feel good, or if there is like, maybe not a specific amount, but maybe if there's like, you know, for you to be financially free and like have more money than you can do with whatever that number that comes to you, then that's what you put out in the universe. But not to think that, oh, if I take this course, if I take this program, it's gonna bring me money, it's gonna solve my problems, it's gonna, you know, fix the problem I have with money. It is more doing these program certifications and these, you know, like these degrees. It should be coming more from the place of desire. It should be coming from the place of wanting to learn, wanting to expand your knowledge, versus like wanting it to fix something, or for it to solve a issue outside of yourself. And take your time also with the programs, because sometimes you need a bit of a break. Like I know very much, like in the coaching industry, obviously everybody's in their own journey, but I've seen people like go program after program, certification after certification, and it's like the next thing, and then you're not giving yourself a break to like really like take in the knowledge that you've learned, to really just like be like, okay, let me just do this on my own. Because like that's also a form of codependency, right? Like where you feel like you need something outside of you to support you, but that's not always the case. Sometimes, you know, you can do things on your own, and you don't always need a certification, a program to be constantly doing. Like just taking that pause, and then you can actually truly begin the embodiment piece of living your life, right? And so every time there is like a course or a coach I desire to work with, I always ask myself, like, you know, why am I doing this? Like, what is the why? And I get real, because I find that sometimes we can, you know, be like, oh, you know, like if something is not working our way, if we're trying to do something and it's not coming out the way we desire for it to do, like way we desire for it to be, then we're like, oh, like, you know, like we see something like a coach launch something and we're like, oh, okay, we have to take this, like it's going to answer my problems. But not necessarily. And how many programs have you done and you found yourself still in the same situation? Not like in the same situation, obviously there's been growth, not saying that these programs haven't done any growth, but like maybe in that same pattern of like the things you desire that are not in your reality, because you keep kind of like chasing, you know, your dreams, versus like taking that pause and looking within you. And so really taking the time to look within, ask yourself, like, is this something you desire? Is this a hell yes? Like, why are you taking this course? Why do you desire to take this course? Why do you desire to sign up with this coach? Like, what is your why? What is the bigger picture? What do you desire to get out of it? And get real. And if you see that you are reaching for something outside of yourself, if you are seeing it that it's going to fix a problem, then tap into and ask yourself, what is really happening here? Like, what is it about the current problem or the current situation you are in that you are not happy about? And start looking at what is your intuition telling you to do versus what you think you should do in your mind, because our mind can get really tricky, and this is what human design tells us, is like getting out of our head and tapping into our intuition and just like really sit with the problem you're trying to fix and sit with yourself and have that conversation with yourself and be like, okay, like, why am I so desperate to fix this problem? Or like, what is it about this problem that's making me unhappy? And how can I first shift my own reality? How can I make the steps that I desire versus like trying to have somebody else fix it for me? So it's just like a few little things to think about in those situations. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about today. And thanks for watching. And I will speak to you tomorrow. Bye.